Alright guys, welcome to our channel Code with Sunny, and in this video I will be talking about the problem rank transform of a matrix. Its index is 1632 and it is a hard type problem of the lead code. Okay, so before moving further, as usually in my videos I will provide some tutorial if it is needed related to the current problem that I am going to discuss. Likewise, for this problem I will just refer you to learn this data structure like disjoint set union data structure. Okay, so in this tutorial what you are going to achieve or what you are going to learn is like how to connect like different connected components, and how to use find set and how to use union set functions of this disjoint set union data structure. Okay, so if you haven't read it out or if you are unaware about this concept, I personally or strictly recommend you to learn this concept and then come back to this video to understand this problem in a detailed manner. Okay, so it would be easier to grasp the new things that I am going to tell you in this video. Okay, so let's move further. Given a M into N matrix, and we have to return a new matrix which is our answer, where every cell is going to denote the rank of a matrix, rank of the like matrix of row and particular column. Okay, now a rank is also defined as like it is defined as an integer that represents how large an element is compared to the other elements. Okay, and it is being calculated using a set of rules that is being given over here. So let's read it out fastly. Rank is an integer starting from 1, and if two elements P and Q are in the same row or column, then we have to check it out that these conditions must hold. Like if two elements like are different, you can see if it is 1 and 3, then rank of this 1 must be less than the rank of this element 3 because they are in the same column. Okay, that is if P less than Q, then their corresponding rank should be also satisfying the relation. And if the elements are equal, then we need to ensure that rank of P must be equal to rank of Q. And also if some element is greater than the other element at a particular row or column, their rank should be also satisfying the given criteria. Also, the rank should be as small as possible. We need to assign the cells with new values where every cell is going to denote their rank. Now, the answer is unique under the given rules. Okay, we need to find out the optimal solution related to this one. Okay, finding rank for every cell. So, how we are going to do that, and what is the best way to do this problem? I am going to discuss all this in this video, so you have to be patient. So let's head over to the constraints first to understand which type of solution this problem is going to accept. You can see m and n are 500, so we can have O of n into m type of solution, and also we can append this as like we are going to append as a logarithmic parameter over here, like log of m plus n. I think, yeah, we are going to use disjoint set union. For every cell we need to find out their parents, so I think logarithmic time will also be appended to this time complexity O of m into n. Okay, so I will discuss all that in detail. For now, let's move further to understand this problem in detail and what could be the best solution for this problem. So let's move further. Okay, so the main basic idea of for solving this problem is like, suppose all the elements of a cell are distinct. Suppose we have a matrix where the cell elements hold the following specific values. Let's say we have 2 into 2 matrix and the cell elements are like this one, and the every element are pairwise distinct, like every cell value. Okay, in this case the very best way to solve this problem is like we are going to sort the cell values, like all n into m cell values, on the basis of a parameter that is their value. Okay, so we will store the cell value, like cell value. We are going to maintain a pair, like the first one is like cell value. What is the value of a particular cell, comma its coordinates I comma j. Okay, and we are going to store this pair into a vector and we are going to sort it out. Okay, and if you are going to sort it out, then at a like we have a sorted array like thing, then we are going to start traversing from the beginning of this array. Since the array is sorted in ascending order, then at a particular iteration you are going to have a particular cell value, let's say 3, and its coordinate is like 1 comma 0. Okay, then what you are going to check it out it as like what is the row number, what is the column number of this one, as we all know that we have already processed the value equal to 1 and the value equal to 2, because we have like sorted this array and now we are at a element equal to 3. It means that we have already filled it out, the rank value corresponding to this element and rank value corresponding to this element at their specific positions. Now we are trying to fill up for value equal to 3. Then what we are going to do is like we are going to find it out what is the current rank that is going on for this cell, like for this row number 1. Okay, and what is the current rank that is going on for this row number, sorry, for this column number 0. Okay, and if we are able to do that, then our answer, like our answer for this current cell, like what is the rank of this cell 1 comma 0, would be max of this R1 and R2, okay, plus 1, because the element is like we have taken all the elements, we are assuming that all the elements are pairwise distinct, so it means that the previous element, like all the elements are distinct, so our rank should be one more than, as according to this condition you can see. Okay, so let me show up some brute force calculation. Like suppose so if we have the pairs being sorted in ascending order, then what will happen is like first we have the element as 1 and the corresponding coordinate as 1 comma 0. Okay, so what I am going to check it out, that what is the current rank that is going on the row going for the row number 1 and the column number as, sorry, it is 1 comma 1. Okay, so don't get confused. Okay, so 1 comma 1 comma 1. Okay, so the current rank is going on as like there are no more elements at a particular row. The current rank is 0. So I will increment it as max of 0 comma 0 plus 1. So it should be 1. Okay, so my next element according to the sorted form would be like 2. Okay, so I will pick up this 2 and its coordinate is like 0 comma 1. 0 is going to denote the row number and 1 is going to denote the column number. Okay, so what is the current rank that is going for the, like I am going to fill up this matrix. Okay, so don't get confused. This is the matrix that I am going to be working upon. Okay, so what is the current rank that is going for this 0? Zeroth row. You can see the current rank that is going on is like 0. And what is the current rank that is going on for this column number 1? That is, it is 1. Okay, so it is 1 and it is 0. So our answer would be max of 0 and 1, which is coming out to be 1. So my current rank that should be filled with 1 plus 1, which is coming out to be 2. You can see that values are already satisfying. 1 is like less than this element 2 and their rank are also less than. Okay, now the next thing is like you need to process the cell 3 comma and it is 1 comma 0. Okay, now it is obvious that all the cells behind this one is already holding the value strictly less than. Okay, now what we are going to do is find the current rank going on for this row number and going on for this column number. Okay, so you can see that for this row number 1 it is going on as 1, and for this column number 0 it is going as nothing. Okay, so max of 0 and 1 is 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2, so it should be holding the value as 2. You can see that the values are still satisfying. 1 is less than 3 and their rank are also less than, like 1 is less than 2. Okay, now we need to fill up the last value. So the last coordinate cell is like 4 comma 0 comma 0. Okay, so what is the current rank going for this cell 0? So you can see that cell 0, like row number 0 is going for like max rank is 2. Okay, that which is our current rank. And for this column number 0 also, like it is also 2. So I will fill up max of 2 and 2, which is 2 plus 1, so 3. So it is like this is our answer. This matrix is our answer. So if you check out for every row or every column, whether their elements are satisfying, whether the elements are holding some relation, like 3 is less than 4 in this case, you can see 3 is less than 4, their ranks are also less than. So if you look out for 3 and 1, 3 is greater than 1, rank is also greater than 1. 1 is less than 2 and their rank is also satisfying this relation. 2 is less than 4, it is also satisfying this relation. So these all conditions are going to be valid only and only when the array, all the cell value are pairwise distinct. Whenever some elements are like in a particular row or in a particular column, if some elements are going to be repeated, then here lies the some contradictory, or here lies some, like what I can say is in the best ways, like the problem becomes much more complex. We need to handle that case efficiently. Okay, so what is the efficient way? The like the overall concept is like you are going to use the disjoint set union data structure to maintain this thing. Now you guys are wondering why I'm going to talk about disjoint set union data structure. The reason is simple. It simplifies our code. Okay, like if you are just like if you have just come across the concept like in a graph, you need to find out what are the total number of connected components in this graph in a disconnected graph. Then the best way is to use a disjoint set union data structure, right? So because it it completes out the operation in logarithmic time. Okay, by using the rank compression and path compression technique also, we have much more advantage by using this one. Okay, so we are going to use DSU based approach to manage how the elements on the same like on the same row and the same column. If the elements are being same, how we are going to process, how we are going to distribute rank among themselves. Okay, so let's move further to understand this problem in a much more detailed manner. Okay, so let's focus upon this example and we will understand this problem in a detailed manner. Okay, so you can see that if we are like we have some, I have some like I have some same values across some rows and some columns. You can see that if I focus upon the zeroth column, these are the same value that is lying over here. So okay, so if I am trying to find out the rank of this cell, you can see that the value is holding as 3 and there exists some another value in the same row, and also there exists some another value in this row also. Okay, now according to this problem statement, it says that if some elements are equal, we need to ensure that their ranks must also be equal. Okay, now the elements are same. You can see that this 0 comma 0 and 0 comma 2 and 2 comma 0 holds the same value. Inversely, you can see that 2 comma 0 is also dependent upon this one. Okay, and okay, yes, this the like this is the connected component, right? Okay, now this entirely connected component will have like some like 0 comma 0 is one of the part of this connected component, and 0 comma 2 is also one of the part of this connected component, and similarly the two other cells. Okay, now we need to ensure that what is the current rank going across these rows and these columns of all the cells. Like there are 4 cells overall, we have 8 at most 8 rows and columns that can happen, like at most, yeah. So like we need to find out the what is the maximum among all those rows and columns, like what is the current rank going on for all those rows and columns. How we are going to maintain that for this connected component? Here comes the role of the DSU data structure. Okay, so what I'm going to do is like we have here the mapping of rows 0 1 2 3 and mapping of columns 0 1 2 3. Okay, now we will try to connect one cell to another cell. Okay, on the basis of their parameters of IDs, you can also say rows, now row number and the column number. Okay, so what I'm going to do is like if you pick up a particular cell, like let's say 0 comma 0, what I will say that I will note that I'm talking about I'm mapping some cell to the another cell. Like also I'm like okay, so like every time I'm going to point some row number to the column number. That is for a connected component, there will be all like the parent of this connected component will always be a sum of the cell among the column numbers. Okay, we have the column number 0 1 2 3, so the parent can be among any of them for a particular connected component. If you are not understanding this right now, no need to worry about, have patience, I will explain this in a detailed manner later on. Okay, so for now you can see that 0 and 0 is lying on this cell. So what will happen is like I will assign this row number, like this row number is 0, and I will say that the parent of this one is like column number this one 0. Okay, and also moving on to the next cell, this is 0 comma 2. It means that what I will say that I will point out the row number to the column number. It means that I am saying that, yeah, I will just find it out what is the parent of this cell. Okay, note that this 0 and 0 is now a connected component, and this 0, note that this 0 is the parent of this connected component. Okay, this okay, so let me talk about in a different manner. What I've done is okay, so also let me remove these arrows as we have already familiar with that these are the connected components. Okay, so what I'm trying to say that if I will pick up this cell, then I will say that I will join these two parameters 0, 0, that is the row number and the column number, and these all lies as part of one connected component. Okay, then what is the parent ID of this connected component? Like every connected component is being referred with a parent, right? If you have aware about the concept in the graph theory also, like every connected component has some parent. Then what I'm going to do is like I will assign this one to this one. So this is the parent of this connected component right now. Okay, now for the next one it is 0, 2. So what I will do is like I will have to join, I will have to do the union set operation for this one. Okay, so what I will do is find the parent of this connected component which is coming out as this one, and the parent of this one is the node itself, like the column number itself. So what I will do is I will have to join these all elements. Okay, so again after joining these all elements, what I am going to do is like I will assign the parent of new parent to this one. You can see that previous parent is this one, then I will assign the parent new parent which would be like this one. Then the basic mathematical relation is like parent of x root. X root is the one of this element which is this one. Okay, so parent of this x root must be equal to this y root. So this will be our new parent. Okay, now moving on to the next cell, it is 2, 0. So it means that I will have to join this one to this one. Okay, so what I will do is like use this relation parent of x root, like this one would be the y root. So the y root will come out to be this one. Okay, so y root will come out to be this one. So my new connected component would be this will be extended to this one, and its parent is being represented by, okay, so what if I will follow this mathematical relation, parent of x root, which is x root is now this one, must be assigned as y root. Okay, so y root is coming out to be this one, so entire parent is going to be denoted by this element right now. So this is the connected component right now. If you focus upon this one, 2 and 3, again 2 is this one and 3 is this one. Okay, so this will be merged. Okay, so this will be merged, so we have the connected component okay, so these all are connected components, you can understand that. Okay, now the thing is like we need to find out the maximum rank among all those cells, and we need to write down the current rank as maximum rank plus 1 according to the definition of given in the problem statement. Okay, so we are going to do this one, and if you are not aware about the concept of disjoint set union, then you have to study that. Okay, then you are going to feel comfortable with that. And also for finding out the distinct values, we have some values being common among all the cells of matrix, then we need to use a hash map. If a particular 3, like here we will have 3, you can see there are 4 cells holding the value as 3, then what will I have to do? I use the hash map, and the value equal to 3 will have a vector denoting the coordinates where these value equal to 3 are lying over the matrix. Okay, so if you are not going to understand this right now, the entire concept which I have used here, disjoint set based union approach, no need to worry about. I am going to explain the code, and the best way to understand this problem is I will recommend to look out the code, and step by step I will explain that in detail also using this example. Okay, so let's move further to the coding part. Okay, so you can see there are lot of wrong answers followed by these accepted verdicts. You can see that now I have a best solution. So let's open one of the latest solutions which I consider as good one. Okay, so what I have done is like we need to use a disjoint set based union data structure. So I have to use the find set function which I have used implemented over here. Now the thing is I am going to use this answer vector to print the answer, and also n is mat dot size, m is number of columns. Okay. Now I'm going to use a hash map where a key is going to denote the matrix value, and how many, like which cells are going to have the this value as. Okay, note that we are going to use the hash map also because the keys are sorted in non-decreasing order. Okay, so if the keys are sorted in non-decreasing order, this is all we want because we are going to provide the rank starting from the minimum one. Okay, so we are going to use a hash map here. Suppose 3 is the element, so 3 is has some vector corresponding to that, and it is a pair int because we are going to hold some coordinates where these value equal to 3 is lying over the matrix. So I iterate over the matrix and push out the elements in the hash map. Note that our hash map name is ELE. Okay, so it is pushing up the coordinates, put same value element in same vector. Okay, now this is our global rank. Okay, now the thing is like you can maintain, like you here I have explained, like where is that page? I don't know. Yeah, here it is. What I have done is, like you can see, I have the row number different. Like we have the row number from 0, 1, 2, 3, and I am going to map all these. Like for here, if you are having at 0, comma 0, then what I have done is like joined these two ones. Okay, where I have been able to display that I am going to maintain the column number in a different vector. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, but this you can optimize this one by taking into the same vector. This is what I have done is like maintain a rank of n plus m size where the first n elements is going for the number of rows, and the next followed m elements of this vector is going to be will be the IDs of this, like if I am saying that rank of let's say particular I, so it will be the rank of a particular column or particular row depending upon the position of I. If it is I is like strictly less than n, it is for row, and if I is like greater than n, it is for column number. So we have a particular rank for every row and every for column number. We are going to do it in the same vector. Okay, now iterate over every distinct element in this map, and what I'm going to do is like we need to process the element. Like we have, if I'm at a particular distinct element, let's say 3, then we have some cells being denoted by MP of 3, where MP, okay, so not saying it as MP, we have ELE as the map. Okay, so we have, for if you are for the value equal to 3, then ELE of 3 will be a vector of pairs, where pairs is going to denote the coordinates where this value 3 is going to lie. Okay, so what I'm going to do, we are going to maintain the disjoint set union data structure for these coordinates. Okay, because we need to assign the ranks. Now what I'm going to do, we are going to initialize a parent vector where now you can see also parent vector has size n plus m. First n cells is for rows and next m cells is for columns. Okay, initialize parent of I as I for I belongs to 0 to parent dot size. Now what I'm going to do is iterate for every cells for my current unique element. Now I'm talking about, let's say 3. Then I'm going to iterate over all those cells where the value has value is matching with 3. Okay, now pick out the coordinate x coordinate, pick out the y coordinate. Okay, now find out the parent or where this x coordinate, like you can see at a certain step, let's say, okay, so let me erase this one. Okay, it is not being able to do. So suppose at a particular iteration, like suppose this one, like we have done for 0 comma 0. Okay, so now this 0 and this 0 are in same connected component, and this 0 is the parent of this connected component. Okay, now suppose we are processing this 0 and 2. Okay, like this 0 and this 2. Okay, if I'm processing this one, what I will do is like first I will find out the parent or where this 0 is going to lie. Like this 0 is lying in this connected component, right? We are going to find the parent of this connected component, which is this one. Okay, if it is this one, we are going to join it up. How we are going to join it? Like xroot is going to find out the parent where it is lying for a particular connected component, like where this element is lying in that connected component, we need to find their parent. Okay, and similarly for the y root also, we are going to find out the parent where this element is lying in its connected component. Okay, note that I am passing the parameter as j plus n, and the reason is behind simple. We are going to have the parent as size n plus m, and if it is a column number, you need to ensure that its id should be like j plus n, because after m, like first n elements is for rows and the next m elements would be for columns, so I'm passing j plus n. Now, as I've already said, for every connected component, we have something like that particular connected component is being denoted by some parent, and that parent, let's say we are going to assign parent of x root as y root. This is basically a union operation, make row point to some same column. Okay, now the thing is like for all those like elements which are lying in a particular connected component, we need to find out the maximum rank among them. You can see that every time we are going to do a union operation, what will happen? We are going to join two connected components. We are going to compare the ranks with the help of their parents. So we are going to find out the maximum rank among them. So find maximum rank over this connected component. Okay, now if we have find out all the maximum ranks for every connected component, we need to assign those rank to all those cells, right? So here is another vector which I am going to use, because finally we are going to like after filling it out the ranks for each of the cells, we have the new updated rank vector we need which you need to replace, like new updated rank vector is curr. Then I need to ensure that this rank will be updated, so I will swap it out. Okay, now again I iterate over these coordinates, and what you will do is like find out the parent of a particular connected component, like find set I comma parent. And if we are able to do that, yes, we have some R, where R is going to denote the parent of this connected component. Now the rank of this cell I comma j would be like since it is the parent, it is always holding the maximum rank over all those values lying in this connected component. I will initialize my answer current of I. You can see that I is basically the I first x coordinate of this current cell. Then I will update my rank as current of I is equal to rank of R plus 1. Note that answer of ij, which is our answer for a particular cell, will be maximum over all those ranks over this particular connected component where the current element is lying plus 1, which will be our answer for my current cell. Similarly, we need to update our respective like x coordinates lying in this rank 1. You can see current of I and current of j plus n, because first n elements is going to be occupied by rows. Okay, and finally swap this one, because the rank will be updated every time, and finally return the answer. Okay, so this is our basic approach. So if you have any doubts, do let me know in the comment section of the video. And also I'm leaving it out a task for you, and the task is like find out the time complexity and space complexity for this entire operation, and tell me in the comment section of the video. Okay, so have fun guys, bye bye.